Our focus this week is joy, and one of the things that I talk about in my devotion is how joy comes in many forms. You can find joy in many different places. We know this from our own experiences. We see this in the Gospel of Luke as well. I tell a story in my devotion about the youth this summer in Birmingham. We had a chance to meet a man named Barry in the park downtown in Birmingham. And so I have with me Patrick Whitehead, who also happens to be my neighbor. So thank you, Patrick, for making the long commute of 2 houses away. And he was one of the ones who first met Barry. And so I wanted Patrick to be able to tell you the story of Barry, and so that we can then figure out how this relates to joy. So Patrick, when you and your friends first met Barry, how did you approach him?
Well, we had just been talking to a lot of other people at the park, and so we were just going over to him just to talk to him like we've been talking to everyone else. And we didn't really know anything about him, so we were just like, hey, what's your name? And he started telling us about how he showed us a dog bite mark on his side, and he told us about how he did in the children's march whenever he was a kid.
Yeah. And so as you talked to Barry, eventually you invited him back over to our full group, and Barry did some interesting things with us. What kind of stuff did he do?
He sang with us, and he told everyone his story again.
Yeah. And so our encounter with Barry changed our entire week. I mean, we've talked about it a bunch since Birmingham even. What was it about Barry that changed the way that we saw that experience in the park?
Well, because his situation, like, he wasn't in the best of situations, but he was so optimistic, and he was always happy. Like, there was nothing to bring him down. Like, he was so joyful.
Yeah, and so his joy then echoed through us, right? I mean, we sang with him, we heard his story, we ate together, and he became kind of the face of much of our week, right? Like, the way that we remember Barry is laughing and singing, and even though his circumstances weren't great, Barry was the first to say, this is why you should be hopeful, this is why you should have joy, this is why you should be happy, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty powerful message. And so as we think about joy in our lives, we know that joy can come even out of hardship. Joy and happiness are different in that way, and joy can be something that's deeply rooted within us. And as we think about Advent and approach Christmas, we know that the joy of Christmas comes in a baby that was born in a stable without the best circumstances, didn't have a room in the inn and all those things, and yet there's still the echoes of joy throughout the story. And so, Patrick, thank you for being here and for sharing that part of the story, and may we all find joy this season.